Cartoons, the animated frontier. These are the voyages of the Cellcast podcast. Its continuing mission to explore strange new cartoons, to seek out new animation styles and new creative storytelling methods, to boldly go where so few ever go again.
Am I wrong? Okay. This podcast is a part of Christian Reek Central Network. Wrong. Hey, Scoop, what are you doing, man? I don't know. I'm supposed to be reading an ad. All right, hold on. Give me it. Okay.
All right. This podcast is part of the Christian Geek Central Network at ChristianGeekCentral.com.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cellcast,
The animated series.
Joining me today is a man who just feels like flying. Welcome, Jacob.
Well, I do believe I can fly.
Do you believe that you can touch the sky?
I think about it every night and day.
Do you spread your wings and fly away?
And some days, yes.
Yeah. This week you do.
Why, thank you, like the Universe co-host, a man who apparently doesn't like heights. Welcome, Drew.
Actually, that's never been my problem. I just don't like... See, that's the thing. I'm not scared of heights, and I'm not scared of falling. I am scared of that sudden stop at the end.
Yeah, that's, Yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing today, Jacob?
Man, I'm doing very well. I can't wait to, excited, but at the same time, sad to finish the season out. This series out.
So today, we are reviewing Thundercats 2011, Season 1. Still shouldn't be saying Season 1, I don't care. Episode 25, What Lies Above, Part 1. Tell us about this episode.
After salvaging a flying vessel, the Feliner, from the Soul Severer's lair, the Thundercats find the city of Havista high above the clouds. But Prefect Voltaire and his fellow bird creatures are not interested in Mumra or the cat's quest until Tiger challenges him to a flying contest to gain the Tech Stone. But Voltaire has no intention of fighting fair.
In this episode, getting into the trivia, we just got one little piece of trivia. This episode marks the debut of the Thundercats vehicle, the Feliner. Also, because Jacob reminded me of this, Voltaire is based somewhat off of the original Thundercats character, Vulture Man.
Yes, it was the 80s.
Fair enough. I'm glad they changed it for this. That's a stupid name.
And I do have to say, I'm still kind of they destroyed the Thunder Tank! Really? In the original show, the thing was completely indestructible. You could not destroy this thing. And this thing has been souped up by the burbles beyond belief, and it gets trashed by the end of the series. I'm like, what?
Patience. It'll all be over soon.
Yeah. But I am very grateful. Now, this is more of a slight tangent. Super 7, the toy series, or toy company, they're actually making a Thunder Tank. A little bitty little toy Thunder Tank, and I'm probably going to buy it.
Knowing you.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, let's talk about this thing.
Okay.
I do think, though, that the name, I didn't mention this in the trivia, but I think it comes from the movie What Lies Beneath.
That is true.
That's where the title comes from, because I keep wanting to say What Lies Beneath instead of What Lies Above every time I look at this. But yeah, this is the first part of the two-parter that ends season 1.
Yeah.
And should have led into season 2, but unfortunately,
darn toys,
due to the toy sales tanking, pun not intended.
Yes.
because it did kind of go like the Thunder Tank did.
Wrestling toys.
The show was canceled at the end of this season, unfortunately.
Again.
So we've got just this episode, and we've got the next episode, which makes the fact that the feliner was introduced in this episode a bit sad, considering, it shows up here, it gets a one little flying scene here, and it makes a couple of shots in the next one, and that's it.
That is true. That is so
So
true.
sad for the feliner.
Yeah,
As stupid as a name as feliner is, it's a cool looking ship.
Agreed. I do have to say this again. Wrestling toys.
Anyway, so what do you think about the Birdmen?
Oh, it's a good design. It's a good... The fact that they have embraced technology, unlike the rest of Third Earth, that basically it's okay. Technology's bad. We're going to get away from it. They fully embraced it. They fully embraced the tech stone, and their city design is incredible.
Reminds me of a certain city in the clouds in Star Wars.
Yeah, just a little bit. Minus it's not red.
True.
But just overall, like design wise, you have Voltaire, which is amazingly well done. He does have a very similar vibe, or very inspired by, like you said in the trivia, to Vulture Man, who was a very common occurring villain within the series. The racing scene, the fact that Tigra just be like, oh, now I know how to fly.
I don't know. It just kind of came natural to me.
I was like, well, your ancestors were pilots.
It's one. I've heard of flying tigers before, but I thought that was World War II flying segment?
World War II flying tigers.
It's like I'd heard of that before, but I wasn't expecting to actually see a tiger fly.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Tigra does pick up on things very quickly.
True. And he was much more technology. Ironically, he used more technology than Lion-O ever did.
That is true.
In this show.
That is true. Look at his outfit. I mean, like it's
fact that he's the one with the cloaking device.
Yeah. Well, he could use that beforehand.
I know,
that was one of his tricks.
That's technology. The second prince, who was first prince, but second in line to the throne because he's adopted. He got to actually play with technology, but Lion-O touching technology? No, that's forbidden. I'm just pointing out some inconsistencies in Claudus's upbringing.
just a little bit. Well, let me point out the fact, be like, it wasn't really technology. It was his.
Yeah, they had technology.
Yeah, it was his whip that allowed him to become invisible. Yeah. But either way,
still a cloaking device.
Yeah, it's still a cloaking device. Okay, Klingon. But either way, you have Tigra being, that's like, oh, I'll race you for it. Be like, ever since I'm
gonna bet the 2 stones we have that we'll beat you.
Yeah, Lion-O's like, wait a minute, he didn't speak for us.
He actually says he does not speak for us. I'm thinking, Lion-O, you would have done this 6 episodes ago.
That is true.
If you were the one flying the thing.
Yeah, he would have.
Did you not lose the Sword of Omens to the duelists?
Yes.
You idiot. And now you're saying he does not speak for us. You learned this lesson a little too late, Lion-O.
Hey, come on, Lion-O. But oh my gosh. The fact that Tigra beats Voltaire and Voltaire goes back on his word.
Well, of course he does.
That's why you never trust birds.
He's a vulture. The guy looks evil.
That is true.
Unlike another character, which we'll get to.
Yeah, just
next episode.
Yeah.
Though we should have seen that one coming too. Anyway.
Yes. But this was a great episode. It had a great setup. And the Myra, good night, girl. Why in the... Okay, I understand it's... We have to do... Lion-O is more along the lines, we have to do everything more... We can't go in and just take what we need. Where
Yeah.
Pumira is more, we've got to take it, otherwise we're going to lose the war. If we bend to the rules, it'd be like, Mum Ra is going to take over Third Earth, and there's be like, if we don't act now, it's going to be nothing. And Pumira, being the gutsy character she is, goes out against Lion-O's orders and wishes and kidnaps Voltaire to open the vault, which I was like, dude, that is freaking hardcore. That was so cool. So Pumira's got some guts. I just got to say that she's very forward, very upfront, and be like, I'm going to bring every claw I can in order to make this mission complete. And they're going, like I said before, she has the gall to kidnap
Voltaire.
the viceroy.
Well, you say she has gall.
Yeah.
More on that next episode. I think there might be more going on here than we're shown.
Yeah, more than meets the eye.
Wrong show.
But yeah, we are introduced to the Soul Stone and
No, Tech Stone.
Tech Stone. That's right. We were introduced to the Tech Stone, and there again. Lion-O is trying to make peace with the Birdmen and trying to negotiate something. And again, Pumira jumps in there and says, "No, we're going to take it," and it gets zapped.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's where our episode ends.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but overall, the episode was very good, and in our intro part, in the intro where I was introducing Drew, I mentioned about not liking heights.
Panthro apparently
Panthro!
is scared of heights. Bless his heart. I'm watching this. I'm thinking, okay. They're escaping from their cell that happens to have a window, which makes sense.
Yeah. At least you're sitting in comfort.
All of them, except for Panthro, are on top of this. But Panthro is apparently having a hard time moving. Panthro is hanging on for dear life. I'm sitting there going, swing your leg up, Panthro. You can do this. Or here's an idea. Lion-O, Tigra, give him a hand. He needs help. Here's an idea. Pumira, you are a strong woman. Why don't you give him a hand? Or Chitara, here's an idea. Instead of y'all, heck, Wily Kit and Wily Cat, y'all could have helped him out. Doesn't been much help, but you could have.
Yeah, that is.
They all stand. They all have time to get to Panthro before he drops.
Yeah.
And do they? No, they just stand there. It's like, because you're just like, hey, where's Panthro? And he's like, guys, I need some help. Thinking, guys, you could have made it. Y'all would have gotten over there and given him a hand before he slipped. What are you doing?
You got to build tension some way.
There was no tension. You knew it was going to happen because they're just standing there. It's like, move at least.
React
Don't
to it.
react, please. Don't just stand there. If y'all would have moved towards him and then he dropped, I would like this thing so much better. But did you? No. You didn't move until after he disappeared off the side of the building to his death. Except he didn't die. Thank you, Wacky Burble Extendo Arms.
Yes.
Which I still don't understand.
Me either, but it's an interesting gimmick. It's an interesting, funny little gimmick. And the fact that you have the tank character, who's a very smart character,
Scared of heights.
He's a pussycat when it comes to heights.
He can't fly the feliner.
No.
Because he's scared of heights.
Well, he didn't know it at the time when he started flying it. I didn't realize we were that high.
So there's a good thing Tigra was in the co-pilot seat.
Yeah, in which he just jumped in there and be like, oh, this is easy. Okay. Tigra.
Anyway.
Anyways, the this was a good episode to me. It was very enjoyable. You got more character development out of obviously Panthro. You got a little
Nice
more
last minute character development.
yeah, very last minute. Yeah. But either way, it's an enjoyable. So I thoroughly enjoy it. And then we get into episode 2, which makes things a little more interesting.
Yes. So join us next time for What Lies Above, Part 2.
Come, Jacob. We must prepare for next week.
Prepare for what, Drew?
The same thing we do every week, Jacob. Record a podcast.
Oh, boy.
So where can they find you, Jacob?
They can find me on Facebook at Jacob B. Heron and Jacob's Daily Art Corner, my personal art Facebook page. On Twitter at Jacob B. Heron, on Instagram at Jacob B. Heron, and on Letterboxd at Jacob Heron. Where can they find you, Drew?
You can find me on Facebook at Drew Dodgen. You can also find my Facebook page at Drew's Photo Bin, where I upload my photography. You can also follow me on Letterboxd at GGeorge759 and Twitter at GGeorge759. Where can they find us, Jacob?
You can also visit our website, thecellcast.podbean.com, where you will find every episode we released and links to listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher. Our RSS feed, if we aren't in your favorite podcast app directory, please share, review, and subscribe to us there and share us with your friends.
You will also find a link to our Facebook group, the Double Feature Podcast Community, where we talk about both animated and live-action movies. We share this with our other podcasts, which we do with Jacob's brother Jim, at the Movie of the Week podcast, where we talk about live-action movies. You can also email us at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com. Also, please like our page on Facebook. We try to post about upcoming movies. If you comment on that movie's post before we record, we'll read your comments in the episode. And remember, every time we say the Cellcast, that is with a single L.